Hey guys, so I actually want to showcase this facial recognition, edge system real time running on the WCH CH32 CH417 RISC-V microcontroller, right? And it actually detects faces and tracks faces in a real-time stream all on the edge. There's no no internet or no PC involved except for the training. If you put once you get the light in, once you detect the face, once it detects a face that it doesn't recognize, it will say unknown. But once it has that face that's trained, like my face is trained, it will actually track it and identify it. And it can actually add a new face, because it's touch. If you touch, I need to probably touch a little more, it will enter capture mode and actually capture a series of images that it could then use on your PC, training, because I have a companion PC side training software as well. So this is just a I have a write-up and stuff to do with this because these chips don't really have as much support. There's no ARMOS, Cortex microcontroller software interface, software that they are custom with. And there's really no it's not like ST where you have optimized binaries and stuff. Just a few kilobytes is enough to do something like this offline on a microcontroller. So I just thought I would demo this write up and stuff. And of course this is part of Rovari, open source RISC-V platform I'm working on. And so I just wanted to showcase this. Thanks for watching, guys. So in case you're more curious how you set up, this is a OV2640 camera that I'm actually using, and you'll notice that we're actually getting the actually I have to put some tie-ups here because this kind of it kind of with these long wires, it's not really ideal for this kind of system. But on a PCB you'll have no problem with this. This is a capacitive touch display. SPI, everything is SPI. I'm actually limited to 37.5 megahertz on this thing because because of these long wires we have here, I already can push to the full 75. And of course we have the board. So actually I have an SD card. The SD card actually has a model on it, and that model is what we use to do the recognition, and it's actually running on this. So I have no RAM. I actually had some some PS RAM, but this board has the the mixed domain in that you could do 1.8 volts, 2.5, 3.3 from these pins. But I found the 1.8 to be rather reliable, even though, well, I guess I could show you this, even though I'm using a proper have a bench power supply there. I still found that it's unreliable. As soon as I started to draw current from these pins, on the 1.8 voltage domain is seeing it's dropping and stuff like that. So you see setup, I'll do a write-up in case you're curious. Yes, all this was written in Rovari Studio. So that's just it, guys. So this is the demo. So you could do facial recognition on the edge, and I really liking this chip. This CH32H417 is a really good IC. Concerning price is about $4 US, and it's more like a SoC than a microcontroller, and really reminds me of the like the STM32H417 series chips. But there's so much more going on here. I wish I had more memory though, but once you're efficient with it, and of course it's RISC-V. So subscribe, guys. I'll do a write-up and stuff. I'll of course do more videos on this. Subscribe and stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.